welcome in this lecture of the surgery. In this lecture of the surgery, we will see the umbilical hernia. The umbilical hernia is the third common one or commonest type of the hernia is there, where first one is inguinal, second is femoral, third is umbilical hernia. It is a common one there. Now we will say first, so what do you mean the umbilical hernia? By definition, the umbilical hernia, it is protrusion of viscous or part of viscous, or you can say peritoneal sac, through umbilicus, through the umbilicus. You understood? It is a protrusion of viscous or the part of viscous through umbilicus or umbilical region, umbilical pores, scar there. Types: on the basis of the exact site and occurrence, the umbilical hernia is classified into two types. There are the two types of the hernia. The first one is a umbilical hernia in children, which is also called as the true umbilical hernia. Second one type is umbilical hernia in adult. Umbilical hernia in adult. Actually, this umbilical hernia in adults, it doesn't occur through the umbilicus one there, but it occurs the gap around the umbilicus. So that's why it's known as commonly para umbilical hernia. So first of all, umbilical hernia, true umbilical hernia. This is the type of the umbilical hernia. Which occurs in the children there. Which since after the birth, there is a protrusion of the viscous or the part of viscous or peritoneal sac through the umbilical organizing scar. It occurs in most of the cases due to the weak umbilical scar, due to the sepsis, that which occurs after the birth. So that's why sometimes this hernia is considered as a congenital hernia. But this hernia occurs through the organizing scar, where the umbilical scar is not strong, will not prevent the protrusion of the viscous or the part of viscous which lies immediately behind it. So through this scar there is a protrusion, and that hernia is called the true umbilical hernia. So the clinical features of the true umbilical hernia. Usually mothers comes with a complaint of this something is bulging from the umbilicus, or from where the scar of the umbilicus, especially when child sits or child coughs. Initially it's on coughing of the child, when child laughs, so that time it comes out. So mother complains there. So that is the true umbilical hernia which occurs in the children. Second, the umbilical hernia in adults. In adults, the hernia occurs into the umbilical region, but not through the umbilical scar. Here, the bulging or the protrusion through the weak point around the umbilicus, somewhere. And that's why the hernia is called the para umbilicus. This is due to weakening in the linea alba, central line, linea alba. Through the gap occurs and the herniation occurs. The features of this hernia, which one? The hernia in the adult, this parallel hernia, it occurs in obese person. It's common in the obese person. In obese persons where the laxity of the muscles and there is a gap is in the linea alba in between the rectus and the protuberance occurs. Mostly, second is common in the females. Common in females, especially obesity or obese female. Obese female. Third is common in the multiparous women's. This hernia is mostly irreducible, mostly irreducible. This hernia is mostly reducible. Mother says that when child lies calmly sleep, then there is no protrusion or no herniation is there. But here this hernia may be reducible, irreducible, mostly irreducible. Where once herniation occurs, because it will causes the adhesions with the fascia or with the linea alba, which doesn't allow to entry or repassage or reduce the into abdomen. So that's why it is mostly irreducible and person comes with the swelling there. In reducible hernia, patient complains there is a swelling or protrusion on standing or some strenuous work. So that is the features of the paraumbilical hernia. In most commonly occurs in the obese person and in the female. In male also it can occur that. Then the treatment. Of the umbilical hernia. Treatment of umbilical hernia. In children, usually there is no need of the treatment because in most of the cases the hernia will reduce automatically with aging. As scar grows, organizes and the umbilicus narrows and the scar completely forms and fuse, then there is no herniation. In most of cases it happens. In most of the cases it closes or end by the 18 months. But sometimes we need, there is a treatment that where the two type of treatments are there. One is a conservative treatment and second is a surgical treatment. The conservative treatment is indicated in those cases where hernia is not complicated, a reducible hernia, then you can go for the conservative treatment. In most of the cases, many of the people they uses the nowadays surgeons they uses the plasters by opposing the two sides, isn't it? But the old method and very popular method still you can use that what after reducing the hernia, keep the large coin or round metal plate where on the umbilicus, and then if plaster should be used, and instead of plaster you can use big sticking head. Reduce first hernia, after reduction keep the coin of the 1 rupees or the 2 rupees. If the protrusion is larger, gap is more, so use the round metal plate, keep it on umbilical scar and what tight with the bandage or fix with the bandage. In surgeons nowadays they uses the plaster around it, adhesive plaster. But instead of plaster you can use the sticking there. So that is main conservative treatment. Then surgical treatment. The surgical treatment is indicated in the cases where hernia is complicated, means where is obstruction occurs. Sometimes strangulation may be there, but most common complication of the umbilical hernia in the children is the obstruction. If obstructed hernia, they immediately go for the surgery. And second, if hernia is not relieved by either conservative treatment or it doesn't appear after the 18 months, then we must have go for the surgical treatment. But what is the surgical treatment? The surgical treatment for it is that, so it can be carried out it is carried out through the general anesthesia. General anesthesia. Here the incision is made below the umbilicus. Remember, below the umbilicus, transverse incision should be made, and umbilicus should be, or umbilical scar should be preserved. It should not be allowed to destroy completely, because after the operation, if there is no umbilical scar, the child may be teased, because most of the time child opens the shirt, remains without the shirt, side of bunions, so that's why it will be seen to the others, and the others will be tease the child, and it will mainly hurt. So that's why what to do. So when you are going to do the operation there, have to take the transverse incision below the umbilicus, like this long incision, and the flap should be removed, and this flap should be reflect upward, isn't it? Visualize the gap, and after visualizing the gap, see the sac from where it protruded this, after visualizing the gap, to see the sac and visualize the sac. If content in the sac is there, that should be first reduced. There may be the coils of the intestine. There will be large coils, coils of large intestine or the small intestine. Sometimes omentum may be there. That should be reduced. Then the transfixation of the neck of the sac should be carried out. Neck of the sac after the removing the flap, and then the sac should be dissected from the neck. You need to separate out, and the remnant should be pushed inside the abdomen. After that, the two rectus muscles should be approximated, and gap should be, when the gap will be there, here the gap is there, the gap should be narrowed or should be repaired, and this should be repaired by non-observable sutures. Then flap should be, whatever flap of the scar is reflected, that should be again placed. It should be stitched out on the repair there. So that is a procedure in case of the children. The treatment in the children. Second, the treatment in adults. In adults, the choice of the treatment is, the surgical treatment. The conservative treatment is not useful. Even the hernia is reducible. In adults, hernia may be reducible, but choice of the treatment is a surgical, because trust doesn't relieve it. Trust doesn't helpful. So that's why they have to only go for the treatment, for the surgery. Surgery is the choice of treatment. Where? Treatment in adults. Now, this in adults, this treatment or surgery can be covered under the GA or the SA. Mostly should be covered under the SA. So, the GA, that is a general anesthesia, not under the spinal anesthesia. So we should be prepare the patient, abdomen should be pent, then the general anesthesia should be given there, and then here incision should be taken on the abdomen in the umbilical region. Here in case of the adult, the elliptical incision is taken. Elliptical, not transverse. Elliptical incision is taken and the umbilicus is removed. In this case, umbilicus cannot be saved. After the taking the incision, you have to cut out this umbilical region and umbilicus, and then see from where the protrusion occurs. Find out the gap. After finding out the gap, visualize the neck of the sac. And after visualizing the neck of the sac, so see the sac is contained either coils of the intestine. Mostly in adults, there is coils of large intestine and small intestine protrude there. If they should be pushed inside back into the abdomen, and if sometimes omentum also there, or sometimes maybe both coils and omentum. that time it should be removed carefully, because the chances of the formation of adhesions, because when large and small intestine comes closer, they produce the adhesions are there. See, either the adhesions are there. If adhesions are, the first separate out these adhesions. Even momentum may adhere with the fascia or maybe with the other parts. So that should also separate out. After separation, they should be reduced. They should be pushed back into the abdomen and then transfix the sac. After transfixion of the sac at the neck, the sac should be excised, dissect out, and the remaining should be pushed through the gap. And after that, the gap should be repaired. After taking the elliptical incision, this whole scar is removed there. And then find out the gap. The gap, repair of the gap should be carried out by the mattress suture. Here also you have to use the non-absorbable sutures. First you have to take the mattress suture, at least 4, and then covering the, filling the gap. Then the flap, upper flap should be overlapped on the lower flap, and the stitches should be carried out on the skin line. So there will be this umbilical scar or umbilicus cannot be sewn in these cases. So last step you are going to, after using the non-absorbable sutures by closing the gap, narrowing the gap, then the lower flap should be put under the upper flap, and then stitches should be given to the patient to close the wound. And this operation is called as a Mayow's operation. This operation is called as a Mayow's operation. So this is carried out in the adult. So this is and the umbilical hernia. Umbilical hernia also can be treated with the homeopathic medicines. Homeopathic medicine. There is no medicines in the allopathic or the umbilical hernia. So that's why either in the children's conservative treatment, in adults conservative treatment not useful, medicinal treatment in homeopathy. Several homeopathic. Even in the case of the children, in true umbilical hernia, so you can use the homeopathic medicines. The homeopathic medicines have very good results. There are various medicines are there, and that should be based on the basis of the hernia, how much use sac is to be there, or what type of hernia is to be there. So they understood. So homeopathic medicine can be used in both hernia in children or in the adult. But as per the surgery, in children there is a conservative treatment and the surgical treatment. Choice of the surgical treatment in the children's side, already told you that if hernia is not disappear completely by 18 months of the child, or if there is a complication, either obstruction or the strangulation, mostly obstruction of the leg. While in adult, the choice of treatment as per the modern system is what? The surgical treatment, Mayow's operation that I have described you. But again I tell you that in homeopathy there are the few medicines are there that which can treat the umbilical hernia either in the children or in the adults. Various medicines like calciricum, Naxonica, other medicines are there that which treat the hernia there. So do you understood? This is the umbilical hernia. That's how the umbilical hernia.